elite teams in Texas, two of the top juniors in the state, a pair of four-star prospects going head-to-head in prime time. It's Friday Night Hoops on the WFA Digital Network. Number 1 Carter hosts 8th-ranked Pinkston in the opener of district play. And with that, we welcome you inside the gymnasium here at Carter High School. Mike Leslie joined as always by Heckma Harrison. This is a matchup of two of the top teams in Texas for sure, both ranked in the top 10. Two teams, Heckma, that both have legitimate state championship hopes.
And the one thing about it is, on one side, you have an all-world player. On the other side, you have the consummate team. So it's really going to be a battle of who wins that. The team that has the superstar talent or the team that does everything as a unit.
Carter, of course, that team. I mean, Chance Puryear is their number 1 guy, and we'll talk about him in just a second, but they are gifted across the board, a really, really talented basketball team. Whereas Dink Pate for Pinkston, our player to watch from the Vikings tonight, this kid is sensational. The number 2 player in Texas in the junior class.
I don't know how we continue to get this spoiled, man. Last week we have Trey Johnson, the number 1 junior in America, excuse me, and then we have Dink Pate. I'm gonna tell you like this, Mike. I remember where I was when you told me this guy's name, Dink Pate. And my life hadn't been the same since. I mean, everything you hear about him, man, they call him the neighborhood hero in West Dallas, and he's just giving that community pride to represent, again, a guy that is phenomenal. 33 points the other day versus Sulphur Springs should tell you everything you need to know about Dink Pate, but he does it all on the floor.
If all of that doesn't communicate it for you, he's got his own billboard. He legit, as a junior in high school, has his own billboard. Dink Pate is pretty special. So too is Chance Puryear, the stud from Carter, number 7 player in the state in the junior class. Really, really talented kid that has really started to come into his own more and more over the course of his junior year.
Look, here's the deal, Carter Cowboy Nation. We could have picked anyone on this squad because they're really that good. Chance Puryear is a special talent, though. 6'7", and he's a guard. He's just not a big, pretending to be a guard. No, he has handles like a guard. He shoots like a guard. He defends the small guards on the other side like a guard. Just a special guy. I'm telling you, when you start to measure up as many guys that we have in the state of Texas that have these rankings, Chance Puryear is definitely a name that you have to recognize.
Meanwhile, as you mentioned, Carter and Pinkston both have more talent beyond these two. Carter is number 1 in the state for a reason. They are a very deep, very talented basketball team across the board. But it's also, with Pinkston, you've got Des Jones at the point guard spot. You've got some young guys coming up through. Bryce Dixon, just a freshman. Some people think he might be the best freshman in Texas. So both of these teams have got a lot of talent, but that Puryear-Dink Pate matchup is pretty sexy.
No, look, you have to put it that way, but you're right, man. When you talk about Desmond Jones, one of those guys on the Pinkston side for the Vikings, man, he's just so special, electric as a ball handler. And then when you come on the other side to Carter, they have so many guys that when you look at their averages, they're right there close together. Kyle Givens, the 6'2" guard, really special. Just, again, this is going to be one of those matchups where the team is going to win. How do you defend a guy like Dink Pate? How do you stop him from doing all the special things that he does? Pinkston is going to have to pretty much guard this Carter Cowboys team that works as a well-oiled machine, but then you have the Chance Puryears that, again, he can shoot from anywhere. He does it all.
Pinkston has not beaten Carter since 2015. It has been a minute for the Vikings. 8 years ago, 16 games in a row since Carter has taken down the Vikings. But this is Pinkston's best team in years, and tonight it's a top 10 matchup. Can Dink Pate and Pinkston upset the number 1 team in the state? Carter and Pinkston on Friday Night Hoops. The opening tip is next.
Wake up with Daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA. That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads and still counting.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
South Dallas, it's Friday night hoops. The top team in the state, the Carter Cowboys, opening up district play, hosting their main challenger in District 13 4A, the Pinkston Vikings. Starters for tonight's game. First for the Pinkston Vikings, Jones, Pate, Simpson, Dixon, and Dean Vines. Of course, Dink Pate we told you about off the top. Super talented kid. For Carter, Givens, Lewis, Williams, Puryear, and Thomas, as we welcome you inside Carter High School here, the gymnasium, for a special basketball game between two very good basketball teams. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back courtside. Heckma, the excitement for this game is palpable.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you have so many great players on one court. Obviously, this is a game for Pinkston where they want to get over the hump. Carter has had their number for a number of years now. And so when they look across from these guys, the Carter Cowboys on the court, they realize that they have one of the special talents in North Texas and Dink Pate, and he is going to have to be everything for the Vikings tonight.
Pinkston starting lineup coming out right now. Their head coach, Cedric Griffin, in his 6th year as Pinkston's head coach. He was an assistant on this Pinkston staff the last time the Vikings beat Carter back in January of 2015. Since then, as we mentioned just a couple minutes ago, 16 straight wins for the Carter Cowboys. This is a talented starting five that you're seeing come on the floor right now for Pinkston. Jalen Dean Vines, the sophomore. Coach Griffin told us this is a kid that just jumps out of the gym.
Yeah, no, he really does. And when we were preparing for this game, obviously you're locked in on Dink Pate, but then all of a sudden you see a Dean Vine, the guy that's just jumping out of the gym, and you ask yourself, like, okay, there's a guy that can help Dink for real. Again, these other guys, they are not just there as like in the background for Dink Pate. They have games of their own.
Meanwhile, you can see the energy start to ramp up here at Carter High School because the starting lineups for the Cowboys, about ready to be announced. Their head coach, Lyndon Love, in his 10th year as Carter's head coach, led Carter to the regional finals in 2021 and in 2022. This is a Carter program that has been on the come-up at Harrison over the course of the last couple of years, but this is likely anyway their best team in this stretch.
It really is, and that number 1 ranking in 4A is warranted. They have 5 guys that can do it all. I pointed out earlier Kyle Givens, but also Devin Lewis. He's another one of those spark plug players for them that really does handle everything as a guard. Some of their role players, operate well for them, but Chance Puryear is just that guy that he's the straw that stirs the drink. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. He's just the guy that gets everything going.
You mentioned Devin Lewis. This is a kid that really, really shoots the ball well. One of the leaders across North Texas in knocking down three-pointers. He's a guy that Pinkston needs to be aware of as he makes his way out on the floor right now. Pinkston has to be aware of where this kid is on the floor.
Well, not only that, he's a good on-ball defender as well. Carter doesn't get enough credit for how they play defense, and they're one of those teams that can dig in full court. But you're right. Devin Lewis, man, he can shoot the lights out. So you're right, man. He is one of those guys that they're going to have to definitely put someone on him because he can heat up quick.
Chance Puryear just made his way out on the floor. We told you about him off the top of the telecast, but he is the number 7 player in the state of Texas in the junior class, already approaching a dozen scholarship offers. He is line 1 for Carter. Line 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all kind of nipping at his heels, but Chance Puryear is pretty special.
No, he really is. And again, at 6'7", the way that he operates, Carter goes with a 4x1. That's 4 guards and a post player. And they are a running gun style. They play a running and gun style offense. So, man, this is, you could cut the tension with a knife in this David W. Carter gym. Love it.
Our officials tonight, John Johnson, Dylan McCloskey, and our crew chief, Johnny Wilkins, to throw the ball in the air for Daniel Thomas and Jalen Dean Vines, and we are underway at Carter. Puryear will go to work right away on the baseline, now back up top for Givens.
They come out in a bit of a matchup zone. No, this is man that they're in. And you see immediately that Dink Pate is going out on number 12, Kyle Givens. So the 6'2", Givens being defended by the 6'7", Dink Pate.
Puryear guarding Kyle Givens right now. Into the lane, Williams now in the corner. Puryear for 3.
That was a wide open look for Puryear that knocks those shots down.
Blocked from behind. Cole Williams with the swat.
Good technique by Cole Williams in the trail. Takes that ball right off the glass.
Now he'll go to work on the offensive end. Little underhand scoop won't go. Offensive foul called against Cole Williams.
Yeah, they said that he used his offhand to push the defender out of the way. They're going to call that an offensive foul. But again, that's great defense by number 25, Cole Williams. Comes out aggressive.
Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from tonight, who you're watching this evening. David Gout says LGP. Jerome Crump says Carter Cowboys. Christian Kanicki says let's go Chance and Big Dan, the 2 Carter Cowboy front court mates. Now Dink Pate with it for the first time today. Into the lane for Jalen Dean Vines, challenged at the apex, and Carter comes away with the basketball. Really nicely done by Kyle Givens in transition.
Yeah, Kyle Givens just out on the run immediately. That's what they plan on doing. Transition offense, getting out quickly.
Loose ball scooped up there by Pinkston. And Rashad Simpson will draw the foul underneath.
That's a good job by Rashad Simpson. Going up amongst the trees, getting his 6'3" frame in the paint, and getting that offensive rebound.
Mr. Grimm in the YouTube comments says he's watching from Phoenix, Arizona tonight.
Oh, wow. All right.
Free throw misses there for Simpson. A 2-0 tally here in the early going. The one bucket thus far coming from Kyle Givens. An 0 for 2 trip at the free throw line there for Pinkston, and it will stay 2-0.
Well, you can see the plan right now by Coach Love. As soon as Dink Pate gets the ball in his hands, what is he doing? He's trapping him. He wants to make sure that he gets the ball out of Dink Pate's hands, but also make Pate work for it, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's going to have to use every defender that he has to try and slow down number one.
Blocked, but a foul.
Oh, that's a late whistle, and I think that's that's where Rashad Simpson is looking around saying, not me.
It is a shooting foul, and it will send Cole Williams to the free throw line for 2. He buries the first. Cole Williams, the younger brother of Case Williams, a young man who played quarterback here at Carter a couple of years ago, and a young man that we featured on Friday Night Football, leading his team back against Wilmer Hutchins a couple of years back, driving down the field and leading his team to a win with a touchdown pass in the final minute. Now we get the spotlight, his little brother.
How about that? We almost went 2 minutes without referencing Carter football, and there you go, Mike.
The short-armed floater, but Dink Pate takes it away. And he'll reset the offense as his team trails 4-0 here in the early going. Fadeaway 3, yes sir.
That is so pretty, and that's what the people showed up to see. Number one, Dink Pate. You see him with the step-back jumper over Daniel Thomas at 6'8". Again, this matchup, he's a matchup nightmare.
Daniel Thomas in the lane gets the floater to go. Right back down the court. Dean Vines went skying up for a stick back, but it was just beyond his grasp. Out of bounds, it'll stay on this end. Eddie Darks says he's watching from Lufkin, Texas. Jalen Dean Vines in the lane, probing, and puts it off the glass for 2.
That's a good move by Vines in the paint. So much attention is being paid to number one. You can see it. It's an attention to detail every time Dink Pate gets the ball in his hands.
Cole Williams, tough move underneath. He can't finish, but the putback will go for Thomas. Bryce Dixon, just a freshman, getting into the lane, and that'll go.
And you see how special he is. Well, they had nothing but great things to say about him, did Coach Griffin. He says he's a young guy, but he trusts him out there on the floor. And the freshman right now, Bryce Dixon, already cashing in for him.
There are plenty of folks theorizing that he might be the best freshman in North Texas. Knocked out of bounds, last touched by Carter.
That's high praise for Dixon.
Yeah. Yeah, this Pinkston team is really good right now, but just fast forward a year, Dink Pate will be a senior, Des Jones will be a junior, Bryce Dixon will be a sophomore, Jalen Dean Vines will be a junior, Rashad Simpson will be a senior. Their entire starting 5 will be back and a year older and wiser. Pinkston's going to be even better a year from now. Des Jones into the lane, good feed, and the layup goes for the freshman, and Pinkston with their first lead of the game.
How about that for Des Jones? He's just being patient, working it down, getting it to Bryce Dixon, who's right there on the box. An easy layup for the Vikings.
3 on the way. Back iron, no good for Devin Lewis, but an offensive board. Knocked out of bounds, it'll stay on this end.
Good rebound by the Carter Cowboys. Long rebound off that missed 3.
The lob up top for Puryear, but he couldn't grab it. Knocked away and then swatted away. Jalen Dean Vines with the erasure at the apex.
I think Jalen Dean came to play. That's all ball.
All ball and a little stare down after the fact, too. Lewis for 3, front iron. Another offensive board. Puryear pulled it down. Another offensive board. This time it's Cole Williams, but an offensive foul. And that's 2 quick offensive fouls on Cole Williams.
That's a smart play by Desmond Jones in the paint, recognizing that he has a guy bigger than him on him, and really not trying to get underneath him, but allowing him to use his body to get that offensive foul.
Yeah. So Pinkston takes it back, leading 9-8 here as we approach 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Pate double team, gives it up for Jones. Jones with the floater. Every bit of the rim and down.
How about that? How about that? And just realized with Dink Pate, you got a 6'8" guy handling the ball, breaking the ball up the floor. He's a true one.
He said he likes to pattern his game after Penny Hardaway. The fadeaway won't go for Lewis. Another offensive board, but then a travel as hitting the deck for the Carter Cowboys was Jamarian Stevens.
But the Carter Cowboys are getting those tough rebounds. The ball's just not falling for them right now. See those charges that they've been able to get. There's so many things that the Vikings are doing right now to bother the Carter Cowboys.
Michael Hall in the YouTube comments. He actually came out to see us tonight. Michael, we appreciate it. It was nice to meet you in person after you've been watching for so long. Another travel here on a rebound, as this time it's Jalen Perry hitting the deck after he pulled it in. But it was good to meet Michael Hall in person. I mean, he is one of the most loyal viewers we have had on our high school football and basketball broadcast.
No, absolutely. And again, for him to come out and be here in person, but still be tuned in.
Yeah. That's next level.
Yeah, that's dedication.
Pate for three.
Hey, it looked good from where we were sitting, but what a rebound by Dixon, going up strong.
Wow.
Bryce Dixon. I don't know about freshmen here. We may want to check this out. Man, look at him. He's just built and he's strong, and I can tell his game right now has been all in the paint and getting those offensive rebounds.
Not only is he a freshman, he's a young freshman, turned 14 at the beginning of this school year back in August, so he is young for his grade, and yet out there playing like this. Missed the first free throw, but he'll have a second attempt here. But good work underneath grabbing the board. An 0 for 2 trip. Down the lane. Nicely done by Kyle Givens.
Yeah, Kyle Givens the whole time had his mind made up that he was going to go for that. And there this guy is again, Bryce Dixon. Man.
The freshman with 6 in the early going.
And I love this pressure right now from Coach Griffin. He's meeting these guys with the ball at the half-court line, not allowing Carter to get into their offensive set, just trying to disrupt their rhythm.
TC Bassin 89 on YouTube says, let's go. I went to Pinkston 04 to 06. Jerome says he's watching from Atlanta, Georgia. Tough shot underneath, won't go. Offensive board, and the putback will go for Thomas.
A lot of things happening right for Daniel Thomas, and that's just all hustle by 00. He's just continuously going up and trying to get boards. You've seen him try to take on charges. He's doing all the dirty work, diving for loose balls. You love to see it, and he gets paid off right there with the and one in the paint.
Chance to tie it up here at 13 on a Friday the 13th edition of Friday Night Hoops. He does exactly that. Final 90 seconds of the opening period. This game has been every bit as good so far as we expected it to be. Dean Vines, left open at the top of the key, tries to blow by, kick out, Dixon for 3. Hit off the stanchion, out of bounds.
It's the only negative play that I've seen so far the freshman make.
Bando the Gamut says he's watching from Buffalo, New York tonight.
You guys are getting a treat.
Givens has been aggressive here in the early going. Nice look underneath for Puryear.
How about that from Givens, man? Just using his vision to find number 5's camping out in the paint, but oh my goodness, what a move.
Unbelievable crossover.
Oh, wow.
He couldn't finish it with the bucket, but that was special and made the whole gym go ooh.
And how about that smile from Desmond Jones to the Pinkston sideline?
It's a 5-0 spurt from Carter to take the lead back here, 15-13.
So we have Jadorian Jones is in. He's replacing Dixon, and that's Puryear right there. See how strong he is in the paint. And the reason why we talk about him is for just things like that. He's a guy that can play really big.
4 straight points for Puryear. And Carter with a 17-13 lead. Pate with 15 here in the first quarter. Step back 3 on the way. 8 seconds to work with here for Givens. Givens with 4. His own step back. Front iron, no. That shot was off, but no good. And through 1, 17-13. Carter with the lead. 4 straight points from Chance Puryear to round out the period. And a 7-0 Carter run to take a 4-point lead to the second quarter on Friday Night Hoops.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Back at Carter High School, 17-13 our score in favor of the number 1 ranked Carter Cowboys, leading 8th ranked Pinkston by 4. Ekman Harrison, your reaction to the opening 8 minutes?
Hey, man, that was fast and furious, man. I tell you what, that first quarter just flew by. But as expected, all of the guys that we're looking to see show up in this game, they definitely have done that. And so I love Chance Puryear and just how aggressive that he's been, those points in the paint, but it's also been the other guys, the other cast. Daniel Thomas, we've seen him in the paint do some significant things as well.
Dink Pate will key the ball inbound. DeMarcus Lewis just into the basketball game. Will set the offense. Hounded, but goes by his man. Kicks in the corner for Jalen Dean Vines, who will pop a 3, front iron.
Love that coming back into the second quarter. Just more pressure by Coach Love on this Pinkston squad, returning the favor to Coach Griffin.
Underneath they go to Daniel Thomas. He's had a nice opening start to this basketball game. 3 won't go again for Lewis. They've been trying to find him and set him up, but he just hasn't quite found the range yet.
No, not yet, but I tell you what, the Vikings have to be better at defensive rebounding.
Woo! Jalen Dean Vines with the up and under.
How about that? Bringing a woo out of Mike Leslie. This Dean Vines with the up and under.
That is pretty. Back the other way, Cole Williams trying to answer, rattles out, and here comes Pate in transition.
That's what you want to see from Dink Pate. How about that pass?
Jalen Dean Vines wanted to finish it with a dunk. He gets fouled on his way up. That's the thing with Dink Pate. He is, in addition to being able to get his shot whenever he wants, he's a sensational passer.
Yeah, that's just great vision. He's leading the break, coming down and recognizing that he has a cutter in the lane. Dean Vines is back up and okay.
He went down hard, but back on his feet now, and the sophomore will shoot 2. Rattles in and out.
I love what you said earlier, Mike. This is a young Vikings team. It's going to be scary good next year.
Yeah.
Just to think about all the talent that they have.
Carter's not much different, though. 3 of their 5 starters will be back a year from now. Cole Williams, Chance Puryear, and Daniel Thomas. A 1-for-2 trip there. And Jalen Dean Vines makes it a 1-point game. In the corner for Puryear for 3. Yes, sir, and the foul.
And 1. How about that for Chance Puryear? I talked about his guard skills. They use him both ways. Love will have him go down in the paint because he's 6'7", 6'8". He has the ability to post up as well. But you see, truly, that's what he wants to do. He wants to shoot that three on you. He goes up high over the defender and shooting that down.
He's got the last 7 points now for Carter.
Yeah, he does.
And looking to make it 8 and a 5-point Carter lead.
My, how things have changed in Oak Cliff. Carter Cowboys with a basketball team.
And it's been the last couple of years now that's been the case.
Really has. Love talking. We talked to Coach Love about that. I said, hey, man, when I was growing up, it was CC, too bad, too bold. That was for the football team.
Pate just long on the fadeaway. It'll stay on this end, though, knocked out of bounds by Puryear. Yeah, the football team is, there's a movie made about them. Obviously, everybody knows about their involvement also in the Friday Night Lights story. But this is a program on the basketball side that has really been on the rise the last several years under Lyndon Love, and these last 3 seasons in particular have been fantastic.
No, absolutely, and it's the legendary David W. Carter.
Vines tried to save that ball in bounds, but the turnover, and here comes Carter with a 4-point lead. It's a 10-3 run spanning the quarter break. Puryear going to go to work again. In the corner, Lewis, 3, just long. Jalen Dean Vines with a strong defensive board. Short on the 3 is Relvin Kelly. And now a foul by the freshman Dixon.
But how about that for Bryce Dixon, the freshman? Look, he has those guard abilities, but he's using his body like he's a true forward, going down into the paint, trying to get those offensive rebounds for his squad. Love to see that for the freshman, getting in a bit of foul trouble right now and goes out of the game.
Joel Ramos making his way on the floor right now, a fan favorite for this Pinkston program. Listed at 5'9". Coach Griffin will tell you he's maybe 5'7", maybe even as small as 5'5", but plays his tail off. He was first team all-district last year for Pinkston. Talented kid that really gets after it. Down the lane, the floater won't go for Givens. Offensive board, knocked away. And out of the pile comes Pinkston with the basketball. Pate. 3 on the way for Rashad Simpson, just long.
Yeah, right now the Vikings have fell in love with that three-point shot. They need to try and do everything that they can to try and get into the paint. Maybe try something a little bit closer, mid-range, or at least get something set up in the paint so they can get some easy buckets.
Isaiah from Aberdeen, North Carolina, tuning in tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Dwayne Frost saying, got to knock down those free throws. Yes, indeed. Corner 3 for Puryear. 2 wide open. Kelly tried to leave it behind for Rashad Simpson, but too much heat on it.
Yeah, too much on it. And again, you can tell right now the Vikings are starting to press a little bit. Down by 4. They don't want this Carter Cowboys squad to pull away. I think they're in the right place, though. I mean, still a low-scoring game, a defensive game. Not a lot of shots are falling for either of these guys.
Tipped away by Pate. Now in transition, they try to throw the lob to him, but not the play that Kelly should have made there.
Yeah. The Pinkston Vikings are here donning their new unis, the all-black with gold trim.
The brand new Nike jerseys. This is their first go-round in the new threads. Knocked away. Good defense by Pinkston. And Simpson chases it down. He'll look to run right down the center of the lane. Challenged at the apex by Williams, and he missed the layup.
Yeah, Simpson's looking for a foul there. Just have to finish that play. That's what I was talking about again, getting down into the paint and getting some easy. And now the easy is starting to become difficult for the Vikings.
Midway point of the second quarter, 4-point lead for Carter. Puryear on the baseline, fade away, got it.
How about that from Chance Puryear? Setting up his shot with the left hand, spinning, fade away, and it falls. I tell you what, boy, this crowd in Oak Cliff at Carter High School, man, they are rocking and enjoying this lead that they have.
Chance Puryear now with 9 points on the day. They are the last 9 points for the Carter Cowboys. He has taken over on the offensive end for Carter.
Yeah, he has it. And I think it's been a mixture of, his using his jumper, but also getting down into the paint and just getting things easy to happen for him. At 6'8", a lot of times, man, the ball just falls right to him, but he is hustling down here on the offensive end trying to get these rebounds.
You said it. This crowd is enjoying this right now.
Oh yeah. Friday night, no Cliff.
Where else would you rather be than right here?
Oh, man, we got a matchup, man. This is just a great crowd and a great basketball game.
Good job by Givens to jump the passing lane there, knocked it out of bounds. Pate, one-on-one on the baseline. Double team comes, spins away from it, can't finish. Givens in transition. Swatted away by Jalen Dean Vines.
Yeah, that's getting all ball, and he took the cameraman out. Somebody go check on the cameraman.
He's still down. At first it was comical. Now I'm not quite as sure.
Yeah.
He got caught by the ricochet off the block. Oh, he may have caught it in an area that he really would have rather not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's let's just say we all feel for him right now.
Yes.
No need to replay that one. That's wow.
My sincere condolences, sir, for what you're going through right in this moment.
Yeah. I bet when you woke up this morning, you didn't think you'd have a stoppage in play for something. And we don't.
It wasn't on the bingo card.
No.
He is making his way slowly back to his feet.
Oh gosh, yeah. Again, we talk about Chance Puryear and coming into this matchup, just knowing that the weapons that the Carter Cowboys have, and for him to go on the run the way that he is now, boy, that says so much about him as a player, with the tension coming in, knowing that he'd be going head-to-head against Dink Pate.
Lewis down the lane. Short-armed it, and here comes Pate in transition. 1-on-2 down the lane, the Euro step and the finish.
How about that? With the Euro step in the lane, creating space for himself, and there's nobody home on Chance Puryear. I was just talking about that one-on-one matchup between the two of these guys, and man, what a move by Dink Pate.
That's his first points since the three-pointer in the opening minutes. Lewis right down the lane and finishes.
Talk about Devin Lewis at the beginning, man. He's averaging 15 points per game, and you can tell he could set up his shot easily with layups like that.
Simpson for three. That one will go.
That is what the Vikings needed. You saw them shooting threes. They weren't going down, and finally they get something to happen. Things are going down for them because they're getting shots in rhythm, and I believe that is a charge.
Kyle Givens with a head of steam into the lane. Nice pass to leave it off for Reese Bell. But the offensive foul will give it back to Pinkston.
Yeah, Kyle Givens had his mind made up right at about the half-court line, and he was going all the way.
A little shadow pressure here from Chance Puryear, and here is your one-on-one matchup. Puryear and Dink Pate. Two of the top 7 juniors in the state of Texas. Pate, nice move to get baseline, but he traveled with it.
Pate with a little bit of a smile towards the referee, because I'm with you, Dink. That's just balling right there. That's not travel. That's just skill, you know?
I'm on the fence. I really am. Maybe when we get a moment here, maybe we can call that one back up and get another peek at it, because it was borderline. Puryear guarded by Pate. Cole Williams down the lane, short-armed it.
Bryce Dixon back in, the freshman. He does a lot of that dirty work on the glass.
Pate down the lane. The strong attack and the contact, no call, but he finishes.
His game is beautiful. We just got an opportunity to see Trey Johnson last week, and I don't know how they got this 1 and 2 and they're ranking guys, but my goodness, Dink Pate is something special.
What a block by Relvin Kelly. He was out of bounds as he tried to save it in to Dink Pate.
And how about that for Kelly? He takes the charge. He's all hustle. Is number 3.
Kelly, a kid that's going to go play Division I football as a cornerback for Texas A&M next year. But a key piece of this basketball team as well. Their first guy in off the bench. Great position underneath for Daniel Thomas, but now it's an offensive foul on him.
And think about that for Bryce Dixon. He's down there taking a charge, still in foul trouble, but still willing to sacrifice his body and take that charge. That's a good decision by the freshman, recognizing that he has the bigger player on him and Daniel Thomas that's going to try and take advantage of that height advantage.
And now Thomas has 3 fouls. Corner 3 for Kelly. And he was out of bounds. He's going to stay on this end. Cole Williams at his heel on the baseline.
And here it is, 70 seconds till halftime. The Vikings have closed the gap. Seemed like they couldn't buy a shot there, and finally they're heating up.
Simpson into the lane, tough lefty floater. And we're into the final minute of the opening half.
Carter now doing a better job of just trying to set up their half-court offense.
Puryear guarded by Pate, gives up top for Lewis. Lewis driving down the lane and draws the foul. It'll go on the freshman Dixon. That's going to be 3 on Bryce Dixon. One and one, as that's the 7th foul. They call it a shooting foul?
They call it a shooting foul.
Interesting. I wouldn't have, but all right. He made the first either way, so it's inconsequential. Lewis, again, one of the best three-point shooters in the area. Giving him a chance to see 2 free throws go through the hoop is living dangerously.
And Carter now goes with the press.
Simpson doubled but gets it away to Dink Pate. Final 35 seconds here of the second quarter.
Pate calling for the screen. I don't see him letting this go.
Pump faked. Picked up his dribble. He had to give it up to Jalen Dean Vines, who will go down the lane, and he'll finish with 20 seconds to play.
How about that from Dean Vines, recognizing that that defense is trying to collapse outside on Dink Pate, realizing he has a lane all to himself. That's a great shot.
5 seconds to work with. He has it taken away. In transition, up ahead for Simpson with 1. The layup will go before the buzzer. Count the bucket, and Pinkston will have the lead at halftime.
How about that? This is a kid that's been playing his heart out, as Rashad Simpson, making all the smart plays for his team. And just in the nick of time, the Pinkston Vikings take the lead.
The number 1 team in the state trails by 1 at halftime. Heck, but before we hit a break, your reaction to the opening 2 quarters.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pinkston had to claw their way back in this game. There were so many things that were going against them. They went just stone cold in the first quarter. They found a way to get back. I just kept saying, man, they just need to get some shots in rhythm, get some easier buckets. They have to credit Bryce Dixon, the freshman, because he was the catalyst in getting them back. He has 3 fouls, in foul trouble right now. But again, these guys have worked as a cohesive unit to get this 1-point lead.
It's a 9-2 run to end the second quarter for Pinkston, and the Vikings, 8th in the state, lead number 1 Carter at halftime on Friday Night Hoops.
begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Back in Oak Cliff, a one-point game between Carter and Pinkston. The 8th-ranked Vikings with the lead by 1 on the number 1 team in Texas in 4A. This is the district opener for both of these two teams. The two teams that are very clearly, Heck Harrison, the best two teams in this district. This game and the rematch on January 31st will be the games that decide who wins this district. And through 16 minutes worth of basketball, it's very even.
Yeah, no, it's a toss-up, and I think it's exactly what we expected because there isn't a large talent disparity. Obviously, we got the big names, right? Dink Pate on the other side, but right now, Chance Purrier, you saw those points that he just rattled off. I believe that was 9 straight that you counted.
9 straight.
And he's kind of put his imprint on this game as well. I think it's been the defense, though, for the Vikings, the rebounding also, and the back and forth. It's only separated by 1 point. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to get in this second half.
9 points for Chance Purrier to lead the way for Carter, 7 more for Daniel Thomas, and then for Pinkston, 2 guys with 7 points, Pate and Jalen Dean Vines to lead the way. About it what we expected in terms of who's making an impact so far in this game.
No, I tell you what, Daniel Thomas has really surprised me. We knew he was going to be the big for the Carter Cowboys, but he has played big, done some really good things in the paint. Really, it's been the rebounding, I believe, that's really thrown him off. He's been responsible for guarding Dink Pate as well. They realize they have a guy that's 6'8" and can shoot the lights out. They're running as many defenders as they possibly have at him to try and slow him down.
Carter has been really good on the offensive glass in this first half, giving themselves multiple extra possessions and shots at the basketball. That's something that Pinkston's going to need to clean up in the second half. Despite that, though, they do have this 1-point lead.
Well, I think the most worrisome thing right now, if you're Coach Griffin, your freshman Bryce Dixon is in foul trouble with 3 fouls in that first half. He was the guy that was in the paint doing a lot of the dirty work, you know. So as you talk about that improving, there's going to be another guy out of this cast of characters that can actually, you know, dedicate himself to getting those rebounds.
Second half on its way here from Carter, 27-26. The lead for Pinkston at halftime on Friday Night Hoops.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up with Daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Back inside the gymnasium here at Carter High School, a 1-point lead for the Pinkston Vikings through 2 quarters of play. 27-26, the lead for the number 8 team in the state. Dink Pate leading the way with 7 points. So too is Jalen Dean Vines for the Vikings. Meanwhile, 9 points for Chance Puryear, the 4-star prospect for the Carter Cowboys. Those 2 studs that we talked about off the top of the broadcast, Heckma, they've shown out so far.
Yeah, well, as expected. Yep. That's why we pick them. And we love it when a plan comes together, Mike.
You know it.
So those are the 2 guys that we knew that were going to make things happen. And, man, I tell you, they're getting it all right now.
It'll be Pate, guarded by Puryear, to start with possession here in the 3rd quarter. Pinkston leading by a point and looking to add to it here on the opening possession of the 2nd half. Nice look underneath. Closed off quickly. They kick it back out to Pate for 3. Back iron. Simpson can't quite squeeze the offensive board.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, just a routine, man. Those impossible shots you saw when he's step back jumper, he makes the impossible look easy, man. Routine, easier for Dink Pate.
Tough shot there for Kyle Givens, won't go. That pass was right at the feet of Jalen Dean Vines, and it will go back to Carter. I'm happy to say that our cameraman has returned, the young man who got hit in an unfortunate area with that Jalen Dean Vines block in the 1st half.
Prayers back were out answered. Prayers were answered for him, boy, because I tell you what.
Nice move by Devin Lewis.
And just like that, the Carter Cowboys retake the lead. There's a lot of back and forth going on here in the Carter Cowboy gym.
If you would, folks, click the like button on this broadcast. Click the share button as well. Pate misses left side of the tin. Share this broadcast around with your friends and family in the Dallas ISD community. Lewis misses short there. Let them know we got a heck of a basketball game going on right now. In transition, Pate travels with it again.
That's 2 on Dink Pate. And he's established his dribble. He's going down, and I don't see it. I thought the ball was out of his hands beforehand, so not as close on that one as before.
I'm with you on that one. The first one I thought was borderline. That one I didn't really feel like was that much of a travel.
If I'm Pinkston right now, I'm watching out for my freshman Dixon to make sure he has 3 fouls, not to collect the 4th here in the 3rd.
It's a tough spot for a freshman to be in. Now Pate's going to get called for the foul 40 feet from the hoop. I don't recall him being called for a foul prior to this moment, so that may be his first.
No, I do believe that's his first foul call, and just slowing down Kyle Givens. We've seen Kyle Givens. You talk about his football mentality, boy. He is charging bull in the lane. He makes a lot of good things happen because he also uses his vision to make the easy outlet.
Two minutes gone by here, 3rd quarter. Carter up 1. Nice look underneath, but at the apex again, it's Simpson. Pate in transition. Leaves it off for the freshman, and Dixon lays it in.
That was so pretty because that's all Dink Pate getting the defenders to come and concentrate on him. Meanwhile, Dixon is just hiding out on the box. That's an easy 2 points. And again, the Pinkston Vikings retake the lead.
Down the lane, the layup won't go for Givens. And here comes transition again, but the pass just a bit too far for Bryce Dixon to grab onto. Brenda Houston in the YouTube comment says, go Carter. Tony Gilliam says, slow and steady will win this game.
Tony Gilliam, I know a Tony Gilliam. I'm sure that's my brother-in-law.
There you go. Nice drive again by Givens. This time he finishes. Carter back in front.
But you see what Givens is doing. I mean, he's working his way down in the paint to get up an easy shot.
3 rattled in and out, halfway down there for Rashad Simpson. Instead, here comes Williams to Puryear. Short.
Another rebound by Dink Pate. I'm loving to see him go down in the paint. We wanted to know who was going to establish himself as a rebounder for the Vikings, and to see it's Dink Pate.
Now he goes to work on the other end. Tough fadeaway, left side of the 10. Nearly got the steal. Williams gives it to Puryear in the corner. He got double teamed quickly.
Absolutely. You see them running out, trying to run him off that 3-point line.
Lewis can't get it to fall. Simpson in transition. Leaves it. I think he was trying to leave it as an alley-oop. Instead ended up shooting it. Now here comes Lewis. Loses it. Bell couldn't finish. 3-on-1. Simpson will pop the 3. Pinkston back in front.
3:53, they set that up nicely. Got the ball outside to Rashad Simmons. He catches the ball in rhythm, knocks down the 3-pointer. Pinkston by 2.
Up top for Puryear. Tying the game with emphasis.
Love this matchup.
Pate high off the glass and answers.
That's it. And Pate is running 2 guys out of bounds. Tell you what, man, what a smooth transition game for Dink Pate.
Silky smooth. We mentioned earlier he likes to pattern his game off of Penny Hardaway. I'm surprised a kid his age knows who Penny Hardaway is, but you can see why. Puryear answers plus the foul.
And Jalen Dean Vines, he's just a backpack right there on Puryear. There's nothing he can do with the and 1.
And that'll send Puryear to the free throw line. A chance to give Carter the lead back.
Boy, what a tight game. You want to see one of these teams go on a run. We've seen it in the first half with the Carter Cowboys going on a little bit of a run where they established a 6-point lead. That was evaporated so easily by Pinkston.
Free throw goes, and number 1 leads by 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Not one team in this matchup is just going on a 10-0 run or anything like that. This game has been close all the way through.
Dixon, the freshman, turns to face. Dean Vines leaves it for him. Triple teamed underneath. Carter fans wanted to travel, but it's a foul, and he'll go to the line for 2.
But they've seen how easy traveling calls come in this gym. So, of course they expected that to be a travel. Now, right now, the freshman just has to knock down his free throws.
First one rattles home. Tied at 35, we remain. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. What a game we've seen from Kyle Givens tonight.
Yeah, Kyle Givens just has it, man. He's in attack mode. He's not trying to shoot a jumper or any of that. He's trying to get floaters in the lane and easy layups.
Dixon will settle for the 16-footer, and that'll go to tie it back up.
I love this kid, Bryce Dixon. He turns around and yells at the crowd, "I'm him." I love it.
Right back comes Givens, short. Nice offensive rebound by Daniel Thomas in the putback.
And there's nothing that Bryce Dixon can do. He already has 3 fouls. He's just trying to make sure that he doesn't pick up the 4th.
Pate leaves it behind. Simpson, way long for 3. Knocked out of bounds. Carter basketball.
Maybe they need to use a replay of ours. They give the ball.
So another official just came in and helped him out because that was very clearly off the knee of Carter's Jamarian Stevens. So it will stay on this end. Good job by John Johnson and Dylan McCloskey to jump in there and help Johnny Wilkins get the call correct. It will stay on this end.
I was going to ask him, come look at Clay Jenkins, Clay's monitor over here.
Clay Marshall, our director, doing a fantastic job as always. Pate can't quite finish, but a late foul call, and he'll head to the line for 2.
That was a late whistle. Maybe he's waiting on the and 1.
Maybe officiating at advantage, disadvantage in that circumstance, and if he was disadvantaged enough to miss the shot, blow the whistle. Pate sinks the first. Pate now with 10 on the night. Being serenaded with overrated chance. He misses the second one. But the offensive board by Jalen Dean Vines. Ramos kicks it out. Simpson, tough 18-footer back iron.
I love Ramos. Man, he is so scrappy and in there working for everything.
Corner 3 won't go, but the foul, and Lewis will head to the line for 3.
And as I say that, Joel Ramos picks up the cheap foul.
He couldn't believe the call. He thought that he had given Lewis room to land.
Joel listed at 5'9". I'm going to question that.
Listen, Coach Griffin even told us it might be 5'6", 5'7". In actuality, he's
just got to give him an inch or 2.
Diminutive.
I like it.
3 free throw attempts here for Devin Lewis, one of the best shooters in North Texas. 2 for 2 so far. This is the first time in some time that we've seen a lead of greater than 1 possession.
Well, we've been waiting on someone to go on the run. I talked about that earlier.
Tough shot by Bryce Dixon, but it goes.
Yeah, that's just routine for Bryce Dixon. You see it all the way. He's going to get that off the glass. He's so big and strong, 6'4". Call him a freshman if you want to. But, man, this is a kid that is physical, and he has the makeup of a player that's going to be special. And as we're talking about him, Bryce Dixon picks up the foul there.
That's 4.
God, I didn't see it with 54 seconds left in the third.
Nice look underneath. Bobbled, but still the layup will go for Jordan Edwards.
And here we are with 44 seconds on the clock.
Pate guarded by Lewis, 14-footer, long. Foul on the floor is going to go against Jadorian Jones. And that is already 5 fouls in the half on Pinkston.
And right now for Dink Pate, we've seen his last couple of shots not fall for him. He's just so good. You know that he'll go to another facet of his game to get back in rhythm. Right now, his jumper just not falling here in Oak Cliff.
Final 25 seconds. That's going to be a travel.
Yes, that's
on
a
Cole
travel.
Williams.
Hey, that's a travel, Mike.
It was. It was.
We've seen a few questionable ones.
That'll give it back to Pinkston here with 20.6 left on the clock here in the third.
And look at this from Coach Love, pressuring, getting guys out right now on Dink Pate. He has switched this defense up so many times.
14 seconds as Ramos tried to feed it across, but it's knocked away. 8 seconds here for Carter off the turnover. Givens in the corner. 3 seconds, stolen away by Jalen Dean Vines. He was on the baseline. 0.7 of a second left as they stop it here.
That was clearly a steal by Dean Vines.
I think they might be discussing how much time should be on the clock. Right now it reads 0.7. We'll see if Johnny Wilkins, our crew chief, will add any time to that. Well, it's not 10.2. I'm sure they mean to put 1.2.
We've seen them try a lob to Chance Purrier.
There we go. 1.2 now on the clock. It'll be Devin Lewis to throw it in bounds. Purrier on the low block. Up top, Givens for 3. No, sir. And it's a 4-point game as we head to the fourth. Number 1 Carter with a strong third quarter to take the lead as we head to the final period.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
Back at Carter, fourth quarter on deck. And a 4-point lead for the Carter Cowboys, 44-40. Heckma Harrison, what do you think as we head into this final period?
I tell you what, it's really too close to call. Both of these teams so talented, physical. This game has turned into a very physical matchup. So I love the way that it's been played. Hadn't had any technical fouls or anything like that so far, even though you said both of these teams in the same district, and a lot of times that familiarity breeds contentment. We've just seen an all-around good basketball game tonight.
16 straight times Carter has beaten Pinkston. That streak on the line here as we start the fourth in a 4-point game. It will be Carter ball to start the period. Cole Williams with the look in the back door for Purrier.
I tell you what, that Chance Purrier is always in the right spot for that lob. As you saw right there, man, he is a high flyer, goes up and slams that down.
And then Carter with the steal. Nice look underneath for Daniel Thomas, and he'll hammer it home. A 4-0 spurt in just 27 seconds to start off the final frame. Timeout, Cedric Griffin.
Yeah, and that may be the run that we were talking about earlier. We needed one of these teams to go on a run. We haven't had that. Maybe 2 or 3 buckets here or there, but not the way that you see Carter just trying to pull away, now up by 8 to start the 4th.
The beautiful set out of the quarter break, drawn up by Lyndon Love to get Chance Puryear wide open on the back door. He hammers it home, and then immediately they come out and press. That's 4 points that come from coaching right there.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing about that. Love has been making those little subtle adjustments all game long. Whether it be trying to run Dink Pate off the three-point line, double teaming him, things like that. You saw immediately after that made basket, they press. And Pinkston not having the wherewithal to recognize what's going on. Dink Pate makes an errant pass, and there's Daniel Thomas for an easy dunk.
With that, the lead grows to 8. Pinkston takes a shot to the mouth here to start off this final quarter, and now they got to rally. Pate will give it up here for DeMarcus Lewis. Lewis, hounded, gets it off now for Simpson.
Well, that's just great defense by Carter. And we talked about that coming into this matchup. They're #1 in state, not because of their scoring. They're #1 because of their defense and their ability to put on that full court press and create those turnovers.
You can just feel Dink Pate, the moment he got the ball there, mentally said, all right, I'm taking this basketball game over.
No, this is Dink Pate time, 7:14 in the 4th.
They called that foul on the ground. Stolen away. Dean Vines threw it away, and the steal from Givens. Cole Williams wide open in the corner for 3.
And there's the run. There's the run that we were talking about. 11-0 run right now for the Carter Cowboys.
Pate trying to answer, draws the foul.
We're looking for Dink Pate to do something big right now. And they're trying to stop him from doing that. Those early fouls, and Puryear in his face, not wanting him to get back in rhythm with that jumper. A lot of folks here in the gym feeling like they bailed him out on that call.
Cross-court feed here from Pate. Three-pointer will go for Relvin Kelly, and that's a big bucket.
Oh, absolutely. They needed that. First bucket for the Vikings to start the 4th quarter.
Snaps a 9-0 Carter run. In the corner, the 3 from Lewis will go.
That may be a guy you want to get a body out on him. Lewis is heating up over there on the baseline.
They put the 3 on the wrong team. It's actually 54-43. The scoreboard starting to realize, and now they've corrected the score. Jalen Dean Vines in the corner. He'll try a 3. That'll go.
How about that from Jalen Dean Vines? Not only a 3, he knocks that down with a 6'8" defender in his face. Dean Vines, the sophomore, had some quality minutes today.
Lewis will try again. 3 more for Carter, and Devin Lewis has hit total fire.
That's what they call a complete heat check right there.
Again, they put the 3 on the wrong side. It should be 57-46. Pate, pump fakes, into the lane, the floater, back iron, no. Dean Vines can't grab the rebound. Pate, though, with the steal.
He's so long. You see him get down with Kyle Givens to steal that pass in the dunk. A lot of times those easy things like that'll happen for you. Be the little things that get you back in rhythm if you're Dink Pate.
Thomas with a tough shot, can't hit. The putback won't go either, but a foul drawn there underneath will send Cole Williams to the free throw line.
And we saw this in the first half from the Carter Cowboys. When they get in rebound mode, they are going to try and take everything off of the rim. And that's just all hustle and effort.
A 9-0 run spanning the third quarter break is what helped build this 9-point lead right now for Carter. First free throw won't go for Cole Williams.
Cole Williams had himself one heck of a game as well. Going back to that first half, the early block that he had in transition. Not a lot of points, but putting in a lot of work on defense.
An 0 for 2 trip, though, will keep the lead at 9. Here comes Ramos. Threw it away. Thomas with the steal. Puryear looking underneath. The foul and one. Williams with a chance for the three-point play.
That's the Pinkston Vikings. They are trying to get some hustle plays in, but no chance right there for Joel Ramos to get a block on Cole Williams. And I think the Carter Cowboy GM can sense that they have the Vikings on the rope right now.
Williams hits the free throw. The lead is a dozen, largest of the day. Dixon in transition. Nice move with the Euro step. Bryce Dixon's played a really nice basketball game.
No, he really has, and he has to play smart right now with 4 fouls.
Blocked, but the putback will go for Thomas.
How about that for Daniel Thomas? Just following the shooter. He plays the cleanup man. That's 0-0 Daniel Thomas.
Pate trying to answer with the 3, misses long. Now the baseball pass, Puryear on the receiving end. Cross court for Lewis. Step back 3. Long rebound pulled down. Puryear with a triple try. Another offensive board, and this time the putback goes for Givens.
And I tell you what, for Coach Cedric Griffin, that he is irate because his guys are just getting beat up in the paint. Right now, these mistakes are costing Pinkston. It is all about situational awareness. They have to make sure that they play smart basketball. All of these things are costing them right now in the fourth quarter, and they can't overcome their mistakes down by 14. Like I said to you, Mike, it was all going to come down to who is going to make a run. The Carter Cowboys have definitely done that.
The lead is now grown to 14 at 64-50. This was a 4-point game to start the final period, but Carter has opened things up, and now only 3 minutes and 37 seconds here for Pinkston to work with to try and carve back into this.
And all of this really got started from that lob from Chance Puryear and then the dunk from Daniel Thomas. It just electrified this gym and the Carter Cowboys.
They doubled the lead from 4 to 8 in those first 27 seconds of the fourth, and they've been in control ever since.
I tell you, for this young Pinkston squad, they've really got to be tired of having to go against these Carter Cowboys and losing like this. They've done everything here tonight. Play tough defense, but it's just the little things right now that's getting them beat, and so far it's been the rebounding.
Pate with a tough finish there, high arcing bounce that went. So the lead back down to a dozen, but just 3:10 to work with. And again, no shot clock in Texas high school basketball, so Carter can milk some time. Or they can throw the lob. Cole Williams lays it in.
Yeah, it had that set up perfectly. Cole Williams just camped out on the baseline.
Jalen Dean Vines will try a 3. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dean Vines is a shooter, man. We look at him more or less as a guy in the paint and the presence and a high flyer. He can also shoot the bucket.
He can also block shots like that, but the foul called. 2 shots forthcoming here for Cole Williams. So Carter with the lead at 11 against the one team within district that has a realistic shot to take them down. Now 12 as Williams hits the free throw. You can't help, if you are a Carter fan, but look forward to a rematch with Faith Family, the team that has taken them down in each of the regional finals in the last 2 seasons. They want another shot at them.
That's a bad word around here. Faith Family, they know for sure that they have an arch nemesis, crosstown rival in Faith Family that they just keep running into in the regional finals.
Corner 3 won't go. Miss long for Simpson.
But for the Vikings, they've got to look at that fourth quarter and ask themselves, what do they do in the fourth quarter that broke this game open? And it was just the little things. And just leaving a guy like Daniel Thomas on the box by himself will definitely get you beat.
He punished him for that right there, and the lead is up to 15, largest of the day. 3 on the way from Relvin Kelly will go. The Pinkston still down a dozen with under 2 minutes left.
Down a dozen, but still, Coach Griffin coaching up his squad. He recognizes it's just situational awareness for his guys. He's making them understand, look, you're down by 12, but we've got to remember to continue to execute. This is a young squad, Mike, so I credit Coach Griffin for calling that timeout and getting his guys' heads still in the game with only a minute or so left.
Well, and when you've got a guy like Dink Pate, when you've got shooters around him, like we've seen Jalen Dean Vines knock down a bunch of threes today, Rashad Simpson's knocked a couple down. There's still 2 minutes left in the basketball game. They need everything to go right for them here over the course of these final 2 minutes, but you're still just barely in touch here where he wants to set up the defense and try and make something happen.
No, absolutely. I mean, you're spot on with your assessment, and that's the thing for Coach Griffin, recognizing that you have this young squad, just continuously coaching these guys up. You can't just let them go, on their own right now. Again, a minute 55 seconds left. And Pinkston's battle. They just come up against a squad that, my goodness, boy, when they bear down on defense, they really do. And when you have a point guard like Kyle Givens,
averaging just under 8 assists per game, and he's also done a nice job of scoring the basketball tonight. And they are in full stall tactics now, under a minute and a half to play. Again, no shot clock in Texas high school basketball, so they can eat up as much time as they can here. In the corner for Puryear. Cedric Griffin telling his guys to get up on him. Now a foul taken here by Jalen Dean Vines. But not before Carter takes another big chunk off the clock.
Yeah, find a way to do something, because if you don't, Mike, they're just going to run the clock out.
Carter took possession back and inbounded the basketball with a minute and 56 on the clock.
Right.
Now down to a minute 9.
Let's say quick math, about 40 seconds.
With 47, right?
Okay. I did preface quick math.
2 free throws go, so it's back to a 14-point game. Dixon draws the foul.
Yeah, I really like this kid. I really like him. We're looking at a freshman in Bryce Dixon. Wow, and I tell you what, he comes down on the foot of a Carter defender. Those young bones, boy, I tell you what. This is a kid that's built right. He is solid.
We talked about it earlier, the excitement that they must have at Pinkston for the future. The putback there won't go for Simpson, but he draws a foul.
No, they really have. I mean, this is he's just so solid, though, right?
Yeah.
You know, I looked at him more as a guard, and some of the highlights that I was looking at, he's really was more of, that's what I thought he was. I thought he was more of a guard, but he plays like a big man.
Yeah.
The amount of rebounds that he has, the charges that he takes, he does a lot of the dirty work for the Vikings in being just a freshman.
And you look forward for this program next year with him as a sophomore, with Pate as a senior, with Jones as a junior. I mean, the ceiling is high for this team.
It's scary. I mean, really, that's a scary good. This could be a scary good team. The only problem is he's still in the same district with the Carter Cowboys.
This is true. A 1-for-2 trip there. Fouled is Givens. That is the 10th foul of the half on Pinkston. So now 2 free throws the rest of the way for the Carter Cowboys.
But really, I can't say enough about Kyle Givens and him being the floor general for Carter. He's been the guy all this contest that has been mixing it up inside. He's been tough on defenders, on-ball defenders, on Rashad Simpson. They've been battling those two, 10 and 12.
Yeah.
This has been back and forth between these two. Another name is, Dean Vines has been a guy that's been playing great defense also, and some contested three-pointers also for the Vikings, man. There's been a lot of great things to go off of, but the Carter Cowboys, man, their defense is what I really want to make sure that I talk about, because when they put the clamps on, they really did, and they forced some bad shots for the Vikings.
That is what really opened things up early on in this fourth quarter. They took a 4-point lead and doubled it in a blink, eventually stretched it out to as big as 15. And now just dribbling out the final seconds of what will be their 19th win of the year. The Carter Cowboys open up district play 1-0 with a 74-60 win over Pinkston on their home floor.
And that's a special win tonight for the Carter Cowboys, #1 ranked team in 4A in the state for a reason. Obviously not looking down the road for them, but they have their eyes firmly set on Faith Family Academy, because they know every time they try and win a state title, somehow they run into Faith Family.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, this is a program that knew that they had a game in front of them tonight. The rematch on January 31st at Pinkston will certainly be interesting as well. But the big picture goals for this Carter program, they want to dethrone Faith Family. And Lyndon Love said, hey, we're looking at it. If they make it to the regional finals, if we make it to the regional finals, it's going to be a classic.
No, it really is. And again, tonight, when I think about this game and just really the excitement for being here to see Dick Pate, I'm not disappointed. I think he ran into,
not at all.
No, he ran into a team in the Carter Cowboys that were committed to running him off of those screens. They double-teamed him at all the right times. Again, I just believe it was the defense for the Carter Cowboys that really thrust them and got them this victory. But I'm looking at a Viking squad, a young squad that can't do anything but get better. We hadn't seen the last of them, Mike. They still are going to be in it. And don't look now. I would be looking up to see how far Pinkston is going in the playoffs here pretty soon.
Pate ends up finishing with 14 on the night. That by itself is credit to the Dallas Carter defense with how well they played this evening, throwing a lot of different guys at him, whether it was Puryear or Lewis. Cole Williams took some turns on him. They shared that duty, but they did a really nice job of making his life difficult. We saw just how gifted he is, but they made his life difficult all night.
And they can do that against pretty much any player. They're going to take away your best player and force your other guys to knock down shots, and that's where I think they kind of got in trouble, because their other guys were not able to knock down those shots. Rashad Simpson, again, I'm going to say it about him, he was in a matchup tonight with Kyle Givens, and I think he tried to press and get some things going, but it was just because of that defense. The Carter Cowboys impressed me, though. Daniel Thomas to come into this matchup, I said it before, Carter Cowboy Nation, we could have picked a lot of different guys besides Chance Puryear, but it was Daniel Thomas just playing the cleanup man, doing things in the paint, diving for balls. It's just a special talent, and you can tell and see why, the Carter Cowboys are #1 in the state of Texas.
Chance Puryear had a big stretch early on in the basketball game. A dozen, though, from Kyle Givens and 15 points from Daniel Thomas, both doing a really nice job for Carter tonight.
No, absolutely. And again, you talk about Chance Puryear, but it's those guys doing all the dirty work, staying in the paint, getting those easy offensive boards. That's where things started to change. When you started to see in the first half, when they took over, just getting every rebound, offensive rebound, defensive rebounds, they were all over Pinkston, and there was nothing that they could do about it. Again, this is another matchup that's going to come back. I would look for the rematch. I think Pinkston may have learned something tonight. They realized that it can't be the Dink Pate show. They can't just give him the ball back up and watch him do his thing. These other guys are going to have to knock down shots as well if they plan on winning.
Meanwhile, Chance Puryear was 16 points, but I think just what we just talked about here, that was indicative of exactly what we talked about off the top of the broadcast. Carter, their depth, their team-wide capabilities showed themselves as this game wore on, and Pinkston, as talented as they are, very young and not quite as deep, and I think they eventually wore down over the course of this game.
You saw that happen immediately in the fourth quarter, Mike. We both looked up and said, wow. All of a sudden, it was just a lob, the easy dunk by Daniel Thomas, and from there, the Carter Cowboys were on cruise control. There was nothing that the Vikings could do to get back in this game or even steal any momentum, and I think that's the part when they come back and they watch the film, they're going to see that they gave up the opportunity there. Again, it's all situational awareness, not making those mistakes that are going to cost you. When you get to the fourth quarter, it almost counts as double when you do that, because it's really hard to overcome those mistakes.
Our next basketball broadcast just a couple weeks away, January 31st, and it's a first for the WFA Digital Network, a doubleheader. Brock and Peaster, girls and boys basketball that night. All four of those teams, the two teams from Peaster, the two teams from Brock, all four of them ranked in the top 10 in the state in their respective rankings in 3A. And we'll bring you both games that night right here on the WFA YouTube channel and WFA Plus. But tonight here at Carter, it's a 74-60 win for the Carter Cowboys. Chance Puryear with 16 points to lead the way for the Cowboys, and the #1 team in the state opens up district play with a 14-point win over Pinkston. For our entire Friday Night Hoops crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographer Graham Rayner, digital coordinator Paul Wedding, graphics coordinator Emil Meralda, and the one and only Heckma Harrison alongside, I'm Mike Leslie. So long from Oak Cliff.